Imagining an era of supercomputers faster than supercomputers. Before we dive into this new technology of exascale computing, let's first understand the basics of computing. When we understand computing, don't go to computers, understand a human brain. So if I ask you to do a simple mathematical calculation, how would you do 2 plus 2? So usually we count it in terms of flops, that is floating point operations per second. Now these floating point operations per second that are done actually are usually considered as 1 when we do human calculations, but computers work faster than that. So when we focused on the era of computing, it was gigaflops that was used, and this gigaflops used to have a speed of 10 raised to power 9 times faster than the basic unit of flop. That means a computation which has 9 zeros and could be much faster. But this was invented long back in 1985, and the first supercomputer to do that was Cry2. However, after that it was a speed of teraflop which was achieved, that is 10 raised to power 12. The first computer running on teraflops was ASCII Red, and this was in 1996. Later on, even faster computers came in, and in around 2008, the computer which was called as Roadrunner came in, and this was at a speed of petaflops, that is 10 raised to power 15. Now, what is exaflops? Exaflops is 10 raised to power 18, but we don't stop here. We do have future opportunities, that is the zeta and the iota. Iota is 10 raised to power 24, zeta is 10 raised to power 21. So we are now talking about an era where we can do computings at a faster speed, nearly double the speed of the gigaflops that we can say. So it's 10 raised to power 9. So it's 10 raised to power 18 in terms of exaflop. So extremely high possibilities that we can say for computing. Now with this high speed of computing, what could be the benefits that could be achieved? One of the simple benefit could be we can do a climate modeling which is very accurate for the whole of the world at a very lesser duration of 10 minutes or 1 day, we could say. Similarly, it can be used in nanotechnology to discover new materials. It could be used in science to understand formation of stars. It could be used for studies of universe. It can be used for fusion in PowerPoint, and numerous other applications can be seen in. So this exacomputing concept has been brought in by 3 different systems being brought in US. So one is the Frontier, which is working at ORNL. The next is Aurora, and this is at the Aragon National Laboratory in United States. And the last one is El Capitan, and this is at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. The same where we had been talking about the concept of quantum computing. So quantum computing, the era of quantum computing and the developments related to it, the fusion reactor which was recently produced, which could had a positive energy that could be generated more than what it was consuming, and this was again at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. So 3 of the projects under the DOE have been working with the projects of exascaling. Now understand, amount of energy which is required to run this supercomputer is extensively high. Nearly 50 homes powered would be the energy that would be required to work this exascale computing. But with this, there could be breakthrough revolutions, and understand this is a totally different evolutionary chain in terms of evolution of the computers. It's not related to quantum computing. It is in the same line of the computing, a faster process or a supercomputer faster than the supercomputer already established. So those were some of the key things that we have discussed on this topic. Definitely a highly important topic, possibly up for your upcoming examination. So we'll be coming up with numerous such discoveries and developments. Stay tuned.